Clinton's heading back to Wisconsin, and the reason she's heading back to Wisconsin is she's trying to hold that margin down that Bernie's going to win by. Hopefully Bernie wins by more than 5 points tomorrow, and then gets buoyed going into New York.
So Secretary Clinton trying to fire up the base with those remarks clearly tomorrow. She campaigns in Wisconsin, Thomas. She's trying to hold on to that state and fend off a surging Senator Sanders, Thomas.
And are they trying to lower expectations about what could happen in Wisconsin when we finally see those voters go to the polls on Tuesday?
They are, Thomas, and they've been trying to lower expectations for weeks, really. And what you're seeing is Senator Sanders inch up ever so slightly every day in those polls. And I think the real concern today is that he could actually win by more than 4 or 5 points. That would be a real embarrassment for her. So I think part of that last-minute trip that she's scheduled tomorrow is to make sure that even if Senator Sanders wins, it's not an all-out blowout.
All right, Kristen Welcome reporting in Syracuse, doing a great job battling the soundtrack there at what appears to be a dance party in Syracuse. Kristen, thanks. For more, I want to bring in now senior editor of MSNBC.com, Beth Bowie. Beth, it's great to have you with me. What do you make the remarks, this back and forth between the Sanders camp and the Clinton camp? There are financial ties, if we dig a little deeper, for both of them.
Yeah, but
Now I want you to listen to this woman, because if you listen closely, MSNBC is in the Clinton camp, because she's not even given an even keel description of both parties.
I think what we're really seeing here, Thomas, is not so much a back and forth about that particular issue, but really seeing that video of Hillary Clinton last night, Senator Sanders, is getting under her skin. She's really trying to pretend that he isn't, that her campaign keeps holding these conference calls saying it's basically mathematically impossible for him to catch up to her at this point. But clearly that is not how the Secretary Clinton is feeling. She's feeling the heat. She knows that Wisconsin is probably going to be a loss for her. As Kristen said, they've really downplayed expectations there. She's shifted over to New York, where she represented in the Senate, but she's feeling the heat, and I think she thought at this point in the campaign she would have broken free by now, and she hasn't.
Isn't it okay to demonstrate that, though? Is that all right to have those moments where you want to have, if you're going to have your mettle tested, okay, I'm going to show up fiery?
Yeah, well, fire's good and emotion's good, and people often think that Secretary Clinton doesn't show enough of that, like you suggest. But on the other hand, she took off after this activist for Greenpeace and immediately blamed the Sanders campaign for what was going on. Maybe that was just an activist who was trying to pressure her on that issue. Secretary Clinton immediately went right for the Sanders campaign, saying they're out to get her. It was fiery, it was angry, and it seemed a little bit over the top.
All right, so as we look at the new Q poll, Quinnipiac putting Clinton leading Sanders by 12 points in New York. This is a lot narrower than it used to be. If Sanders wins Wisconsin, that momentum boost, how do you think that enhances the chances for New York?
Well, you know, if in fact Bernie Sanders wins Wisconsin, he certainly will have a big head of momentum coming into New York. We're likely to see polls look even a little bit tighter, but you know, it's going to be pretty tough for him to win. She's represented this state for 8 years, and
Yeah, but see, that's a problem. She represented the state 8 years ago, not for the past 8 years. If Bernie can make those inroads into the minority communities, especially the black community that Clinton is using as her firewall, she is going to be in deep shit.
Senate. She was, by all accounts, a good senator, paid a lot of attention to local issues, was really a champion around 9/11 and the issues coming out of that. This is a much more diverse state than Wisconsin. Bernie Sanders wins in states that are largely white. That is not true of New York. The Democratic vote is extremely diverse here, and she's got a lot of very hyper-diverse.
And when it comes to the debate, real fast, do we know if they've locked anything in for Sanders, Clinton, and New York?
Not locked in. She said she's thinking about it, but nothing's locked in yet.
Okay. Beth, great to have you on. Thanks so much. Straight ahead, MSN.
Yeah, see, Clinton is scared now, and that's why she doesn't want to debate Bernie, especially in New York, because my feeling is, in a debate in New York, he would rip her a new one. So we're going to see. We got Wisconsin on Tuesday, and then 2 weeks from then we got New York. If Bernie can pull off a greater than 5-point win in Wisconsin, her ass is going to be in a sling.